What's up, nerds? Welcome to Chapter 3, Season 3 of the Invaulted Podcast. I am your host, Squatingdog, but some people call me Dad. Mostly because I'm probably older than you. But I've been thinking a lot about this, and I think you should just call me Uncle Jer. You know, like your cool uncle. Instead of making us all cringe by using the word daddy. Anyways, today we have an adored person on the podcast today. She is most definitely eliminated you if you're on the EU servers, if not everywhere else. She is not only one of the kindest people you will ever meet, but she's also one of the hardest working. She's amazing.
Aww.
She thinks she's funny. And all around, one of my favorite colors on Twitch, Reddish.
What an intro. What the heck? I love the adored and the EU part. I didn't like the part where you said, I think I'm funny.
Oh, that's not true.
What do you mean? Wow.
No, you're funny. Hi, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank
how you
for
feeling
having
about
me.
being on Unvaulted?
Crazy. I know you've only had famous people so far, like Cypher and Booga and
Yep.
yeah, all the big people of Fortnite. So it feels like an honor to be here.
That's awesome. Have you been on a podcast before?
A few, yes.
Are they Fortnite related or are they non-Fortnite related, the ones you've been on?
So I've done one on the Samsung US Twitch with the Fusli and Peter Park. It was like a big thing. Yeah,
cool.
It was really cool. And then we played some PUBG Mobile. So it was not Fortnite related. It was mostly like stream related and mobile gaming related. And then a few in Romania where I talked about everything. Yep.
Well, if you're listening, you're in for a treat. Reddish is incredible. How long have we known each other, Red? It's been over a year, maybe 2 at this point. Do you know?
I think so. You were still famous when I met you. Like it's not like I've known you since day one, but yeah, like a year
I've
or
fallen
two.
off since then. So thanks for keeping up with me.
That's not true. That's not true. You are growing and growing and growing. Come on.
Red is one of my friends. She's amazing. And I think if people are listening to this, they're probably curious if they don't know what you look like. But I'm curious, and I want to ask this question: why is your name Reddish?
Why do you think? So basically, I was watching a TV show when I was young, and one of my favorite characters, her name was Red, and I've always loved the color red, and I've been a redhead for like 12 years, and I was like, man, I would love to be called Red. One of my first gamer tags was Hermione. I was like, there's no way I want people to call me Hermione in the gaming world. So I need to find something cool. And I was like, Red sounds cool. I would love that. Of course, Red was taken. Everything red related was taken. And I was like, wait, but my hair is not really red anyway. It's like reddish. So that's how I came up with Reddish.
I'm going to totally change your name in Epic Games as Hermione now.
It was Hermione with an H at the end. I was obsessed. I was obsessed. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so Reddish, I would be like baldish then, because I have some hair, but just most of it's gone. So
just bald.
I'm going to change my name. You've inspired me.
I think bald is fine.
Just bald. Okay, so tell our listeners, Red, like a fun fact about yourself, maybe something that others wouldn't really know about you unless you shared.
I did ballet. How do you say it?
Ballet.
Ballet. I did that for like 10 years growing up.
10 years?
Yeah. From 6 till 16. And then high school happened and I focused on high school. But yeah.
So I don't mean to hijack your answer, but you're kind of a big deal to PlayStation players, aren't you?
Damn. Yeah, you kind of spoiled already. But yes, I was in an international PlayStation ad back in the day. It was 2016, like 6 years ago. Wait, after all of that ballet stuff, I was like, man, I'm tired of dancing only on classical music. Like, I want the hip hop vibes. I want to dance to like music. So I actually started taking like street dance classes and hip hop and all that. So that's when I started also going to auditions for all sorts of different things. Because in Romania, in Bucharest, where I'm from, they film a lot of things like movies, commercials, because it's much cheaper than if you film in the UK. So it was the same with PlayStation. They brought their entire crew. It was like
Wow.
more than 100 people, I think, on that. They all came to the UK. The main dancer in the commercial is from the UK. Actually, two dancers were from the UK. And then, yeah, I auditioned for the girl role and I got it. It's a funny commercial. I'm dancing a bit there. That's why he connected it with the ballet.
I'm sure
Yeah.
people are leaving the podcast just to see like,
It's
where you are.
called
Oh, there she
it's
is.
called The Wonderful Life of a PS4 Player. It's on
The
YouTube
Wonderful
actually.
Life of a PS4 Player.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you check it out if you're listening. I know I surely did.
Don't do it, it's embarrassing. Don't.
Okay,
But
but
it's chill.
not as embarrassing as the fun fact I have for you.
Mm.
So we were playing games. We were playing some Fortnite, and Red asked
Oh
me a
no.
question. Do you remember this?
I thought you were gonna bring up the jetpack in the blimp
No,
clip.
this is
Oh
about
my.
milk. I
Oh.
I I was like talking about, I don't know how it even came up. I had cereal
No.
something, and then all of a sudden Red like says like, yeah, hot milk on cereal is awesome, like tastes great. And I like stopped everything I was doing. Like I stopped the stream. I looked at Red. I was like,
He unfriended
you
me that
can't be
moment.
serious. You can't be serious. And she was
Not
like,
only
yeah.
do I find it fun, I grew up with it. Like every day up until I was 12, every morning I would have hot milk with cereal. And of course, put the milk first and then the cereal. I think this also
See,
bothered you,
you're
right?
caught up on that. I can't get caught. Like, it doesn't matter what comes first in the situation. Hot milk should not be on
You still have
on
to
cereal.
try. You have to try.
I
You
still
cannot
do.
say,
That's fair. That's
yeah,
true. That's
maybe
true.
you're gonna love it. Like, how are you gonna
Yeah.
know?
But I like where this escalated for me was I was thinking, without context, that you were taking a bowl of cereal and going out back to a cow and just like uttering in the warm milk. And that's how it looked in my
Yeah, yeah,
brain.
yeah.
And I know that's a
Can you
drama.
please, after this, go on Google and Google Bucharest so you see where I live? It
Okay.
looks like a
Yeah.
city. There's no cows around.
I don't know. I'm
Where
like,
do you think
who does
I live?
this? And if you're listening now, like genuinely,
Uh,
just give us some feedback. Do you also have warm milk in your cereal? Because if you do, I just have a lot of questions. That's all. That's my fun fact about you.
yeah. You're making it sound like I'm a horrible person. I don't know if it's a fun fact.
It is fun. It's very fun. You're not a horrible person for liking what you like, but I was just shocked because I've always grew up drinking cold milk. Milk in the refrigerator, that type of vibe.
Oh,
Pull
yeah,
it
and I
out.
remember you asked me, is the milk in the fridge? Do you keep it
Yeah,
outside in the sun? I remember. We
it's
keep it in the
crazy.
fridge and then we heat it up. And
Yeah,
then
you put it in the microwave, and then you pour that
it's like
in.
soup.
Okay,
Yeah.
you don't have to yell. Just playing. Okay, so Red,
Wait,
tell us. Yeah,
how about a fun fact about you so I
yeah,
can make
let's
fun
hear
of
it.
you?
What do you got? You got one for me?
No, I'm curious. Like, share with
Oh,
me something.
yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, my go-to is that I've never experienced a brain freeze.
What's a brain freeze?
Hey, so apparently, when you drink like really cold stuff quickly, it affects your brain,
Oh.
and you like tense up or something. And so I've never experienced this, but like my friends would all like have these moments where they would like where they would just like go, oh, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm like eating my ice cream, and like they're like, but there's like a thing
I'm the
called brain
same.
freeze.
I cannot eat ice cream. Like
Wait,
my teeth are hurting if I do.
oh, so you
But not my
experienced brain
brain.
freeze?
My brain is fine. My brain is fine. Just my teeth,
Okay,
they're hurting.
okay, good. Glad your brain's
Yeah.
fine. So that's mine. That's my fun fact. I don't know. There's a few other people that haven't experienced it, but I feel like a majority of people do.
But people watching or listening, have you experienced it?
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know.
Let us know.
All right. Well, let's transition. I want to know, Red, all about you. Who are you? How'd you get into content creation? And what kind of content do you create?
All right, all right, all right. I'm a Fortnite streamer. I like to say I'm a content creator or like a streamer. I'm just a Fortnite streamer. I've streamed Fortnite 99% of the time, so I'm obsessed with this game. I'm Red. I am from Bucharest, Romania. I think we mentioned this before. and I'm 26. I'm one of the boomers. I think that's why we're such good friends because we're pretty close in age, I would say. Um, and I started streaming Fortnite 4 years ago. It was November 2018, so quite a long time ago. And I started because I was in love with Fortnite back then. I was not part of any community at all. I was barely watching Twitch, but I was obsessed with YouTube. I was watching a lot of YouTube. And even though I was working back then, like I had a full time job, I was just watching YouTube videos. And then I discovered Ninja and Pokemon and Valkyrie and Nikkei 30 and everyone from back then. And I saw how much fun they were having with Fortnite. I was like, oh, let's give Fortnite a try. I was obsessed with Fortnite. Like every day after work, I would play Fortnite for 6 months. And only after 6 months, I was like, man, but why not start streaming since I'm spending so many hours playing anyway? So it mainly started because of my passion for Fortnite. Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. So, um, my next question for you is like, who inspires you in the Fortnite space? Like, who are the people that you look up to and kind of inspired you to be a streamer, content creator?
Yeah. So a lot of people are again from back in the day. Like I was watching a lot of Pokemon, Valkyrie, Nikkei 30, Loser Fruit, like everyone from back then because they inspire me. They're one of the biggest reasons why I started streaming. And now to this day, I feel like I know it will sound a bit cheesy, but I feel like my friends inspire me a lot. Like
Mm,
I feel like in these 4 years, I managed to create some amazing connections in this Fortnite world, and it's inspiring to see their growth. For example, Alexa, aka
hmm.
Alina, like I've seen her. I started together with her like 4 years ago, and we were both averaging 20, 30 viewers, and seeing her growth and how she reached some insane numbers
Yeah,
that fast like in the last few months years. It's been super super inspiring. And a lot of streamers, I watch a lot of Nikkei 30. I was watching Nikkei 30 every day at work. I love his vibes a lot. I'm also a
yeah,
family friendly creator. I don't know if I mentioned. um so I don't know. I Whenever I needed like a boost of energy, I would open Nick's stream, and I loved how though he was playing a lot of solos, he was talking all the time, and he still does, and he makes everything so entertaining. So for me, that's inspiring. That's inspiring. Seeing big streamers connect with their audience and create funny content.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's great. I feel like Nick inspires me as well. Like he's there's something about his shrugging off, I guess, the toxic vibes. He's so good at that. You know, he's so good at
yeah,
like letting that stuff not affect him.
yeah,
And he just kind of like keeps pushing forward, despite maybe like how he feels about what's going on. And so I think he
yeah,
does a great job of keeping everyone's attention on the right things and not the wrong things. So
yep,
I've taken many a tips from him in his streams for my own as well. Yeah, I
yep,
think that's a good one for sure.
yep, yep. And there's a lot others, like a lot of others, you
You,
included. You're
aw.
also wonderful. Yes.
You had mentioned how you came in solo in the space and you've kind of walked away with a lot more friends than when you started with. Could you talk a little bit about what that looks like? I'm sure there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast that like probably look up to you and are wanting to replicate what you've done. And so, how would you communicate to that person like what it looks like to navigate friendship in the online space in Fortnite and like what does that look like? And yeah.
I honestly have no idea because sometimes I think and I'm like, man, I live in Bucharest, Romania, and I get to play with people who are all the way in the US and we're such good friends. And I'm thinking, how the heck did we get there? I think for a lot of my friends, it all came natural. Like we found out about each other and then they would stop by my stream to say hi. I would stop by to say hi. Then how it was with you, right? It all started
Mhm.
with a raid. Like I had
Mhm.
someone, it was Melushka in my chat. She was like, you should raise Squatingdog. You're gonna love him. See, he's amazing. I have no idea how I never heard of you before. Like literally no clue. But yeah, I opened your stream. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. And the way you welcomed us and everything. And then I don't know, you tell me, how did we become friends? Like, I don't know, it was natural. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like people see when others are as passionate and when they don't have like a hidden interest, or if they're not fake
Yeah.
or pretending. Because a lot of times you see people, I don't know, they come to your stream and you can tell, I don't know,
There's
the
an
vibes are just
agenda.
not there. Yes, like the
Yeah.
vibes are not there. But with some people, you just feel like it's right. And yeah, that's why I got to make a lot
I
of
feel like it
friends.
was very difficult for me to bridge that gap with certain people, not just because I didn't ever want to come off like I am clout chasing, but I like knew that I would be good friends with people. Like
Yeah.
in some ways I feel that way towards Nick A30 a lot. Like now currently, like we just recently got into like a fight. Me and Liz were fighting Sancho and him, and it was like a fun engagement. It was like a blast. But then like if I put myself in probably a listener's shoes, it's like, okay, that was cool. Vibes were great. Like the engagement in between, chats were fun, and like his people came over, my people went
Yeah.
over, like that type of thing. It's like, what's that next step look like? Like, what does that next like push look like for you, Red? Would you say, how do you navigate that type of like, okay, we had that vibe, things were good. What's that next step in like building that friendship? Would you say?
Um, I think also having more confidence in yourself helps. Because, for example, I think Summer said at some point, Kayla, she made a tweet saying, I need some people to play arena with, like, who's down. And I was like, hey, I'm down. And then she DM'd me and she was like, let's play. And then we played and it was fun as heck. I played with
Yeah.
Arab. I played with a lot of people because of Twitter interactions, right?
Hmm.
Or like Savid, who I had never played with before. And he made a tweet, someone tagged me, and then boom, let's play. And then the second you play, if again the vibes are there, you're gonna play more, right?
Yeah.
um but I also have this thing, like you're saying with Nikkei 30, like we've played Among Us together, we've played the
Hmm.
imposter mode. Whenever I'm in the same lobby as him, I never push that add friend request, or like I never ever ask him to play. Like he
Yeah.
knows about me, he's rated me on my birthday, right? But it's that little thing holding you, like it's
Hmm.
holding you as well, that makes you go like the extra mile, because you think if they wanted to play, they would reach out to you. But sometimes it's the opposite. Maybe they
Yeah.
think
Totally.
if they wanted to play, they would reach out. So I think it's a
Right.
bit about confidence, the right moment, maybe even coming up with some ideas, like being like, hey, I want to record this thing or do this meme. I need
Yeah.
someone. Let's do it. Um, so yeah, I don't think I nailed that perfectly, because I cannot say I'm best friends with everyone. But
Yeah.
yeah, with those few I am with, it's just because we played some games together and the games were great. And then they kept asking to play and play and play. So
Yeah.
that made the friendship closer.
I always feel like there's this like element of like pressure too. Like I remember the first time like I played with Cypher, and I was just like so nervous. It's like this is crazy,
I was
like I'm
nervous the
thinking
first time
about.
I played with Alina. It was
Yeah.
crazy. And she's my fellow Romanian and stuff. But it was just that first time. And then
Right.
the other times, like, it was like
Yep.
we were best friends. But
Exactly.
that first time,
Yeah.
you're going to
It's
be
funny how you
nervous.
remember that stuff, but I do think like that speaks to the pressure, right, that's involved
Yeah.
with some of this. Like there's a lot of like, we're all building content, we're all growing in this in the same direction, maybe at different speeds, different socials, whatever, but like the building content together is some of my favorite content, because you
Yeah.
get to you're dealing with another craft person, like craftsman person. Like you have a craft, I have a craft, and when we're able to like play together, there's like this dance,
Yeah.
and it creates more energy, more excitement, more fun, and I think listeners and
Definitely.
viewers get impacted on a greater degree than when you're dancing solo. And sometimes that's
Yeah.
amazing and that's good, it's necessary to be dancing solo, but also like there is a different type of energy when you come together like that. So if you're
I feel like we're
listening.
just getting started,
Oh yeah.
honestly. Sorry, I'm interrupting. We're just getting started with that because we're not seeing
Right.
enough of it. But now we're slowly understanding this, and there's more opportunities now, I feel. Like we did the hide
Yeah.
and seek video, right? That was
Uh-huh.
like out of nowhere, a group of creators getting together to do a hide and seek video. Like that's the content we all love. We need more of that,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think like, yeah, so if you're listening to this, like take a chance, have confidence in yourself, like Red was saying. Like it could go a long ways. And I think me and Red wouldn't have known each other if she hadn't initiated a raid, And then me, I think, being consistent of coming by her stream and saying hello, what's up, and like that slow progression built on
Yeah.
itself to where I think we are now, which
Social
is really
media
cool.
as well. Like if
Yeah,
a
totally.
streamer follows you back, that's already a sign that that streamer thinks you're awesome. Like it's
Absolutely.
already such a good first step, right? Because if you spam someone's DMs and be like, let's play, let's play, let's play, let's play, and they don't reply back, they don't follow you back, they don't answer your messages in their chat, then you're like, okay, maybe this person doesn't want to play. But if there's already something there and they follow you back and they smile when they see you in chat, that could be the start of something for sure.
Absolutely. Red, what motivates you to be a content creator and streamer? What are the things that actually like fuel you doing this?
I think the growth I've had and the community I've created. Because I started off with 0 viewers. Again, I was not part of any chat, any community, nothing. I didn't even know what Twitch emotes were. I learned everything on the go. I
Yeah.
was clueless. I was clueless. And I started like a lot of people, like 5 viewers, 10 viewers. Um, but already a few months in, like after 3, 4 months of streaming, I was already seeing an amazing number of subs, like paid subs on Twitch. The community was growing. People were playing, like people from my chat, they would play together and form friendships. Some of them even like live together now. Like I have people who found the love of their life in my community. So it's such an amazing feeling to know that these people stop by every day to see me and to hang out with me. And that's, I think, what motivates me the most. Because if I didn't have my community, it would probably be hard. And also my passion for Fortnite. Like, I'm the kind of person who is actually in love with the game. Like, I'm not playing
Yeah.
just because it gets the views
Right. Right.
or anything like that. Like, I have people begging me to play other games. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm playing Fortnite. Thank you. Because again,
You're like,
Fortnite
I've got
is
a ring on Fortnite.
yeah, because like Fortnite is so complex, and like one day I'll be playing arena builds, and then 0 build trios, and some solos, and community games as well. Like there's so much stuff you can do.
Yeah.
And I always say this: like people who don't have fun on Fortnite don't play with the right people. I always say it. It's
Yeah.
fun if you play with the right people, and that motivates me. Like I'm doing what I love. I just get here, people love it, I love it, so it's the best thing ever. And again, I'm seeing growth. Like if I look in the past months, like the stream is growing,
Yeah.
content is growing, so I feel like I'm on the right track, and it motivates me so much to keep going.
I, I think there are probably a lot of people that are listening to this and also are like, well, I don't see that growth. Right. Um, and so I think like also to be candid, I don't ever want to be the person that's like, yeah, just like, like just keep grinding, like just like this like false sense of security for listeners. I do want to
Yeah,
hold in tandem, right? Like the good with the hard. And I
yeah.
think that content creators don't I think a lot of people don't see that side because it is a lonely side. I think in content creation when things aren't going well, when things are hard. But I also wanted to ask the question: what are the things that discourage you, like from content creation? What are the things that are hard
Mm-hmm.
about the job that people might not see? Like if you just came by a stream, right? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's what happens when you press off and the rest of your day starts. Like, well, what does that look like for you? What discourages you, and what's kind of hard about content creation?
Hmm. I used to be affected a bit by the viewership count back in the day, like a few months ago or like a year ago. That's when I was like, stop. I'm stopping this. I'm removing the count. So now I'm not seeing how many people I have in my stream. And I think that was the best decision ever. I don't know. Some people have mixed opinions.
Yeah.
I don't like to see that number because if it goes down, even I don't know, by 5, 10, 15, I'm like, oh, did I do something wrong? And then I start
Yeah.
worrying. And there's no point in doing that when you're live. Like when you're live, you should be happy and having fun and talking to your community, no matter how many people you have there. Um, so I always like to treat my streams as if I have like, I don't know, 1,000 viewers. Just treat it as that. So yeah, the number used to discourage me. Now not anymore because I'm not giving too much attention to it. But I don't know. Maybe Maybe also the numbers content wise. So when you try to do like, I don't know, a YouTube video, or you
Hmm.
work on something and you put it out there, and you ask your community, right, guys, go support and like and comment, and some of them do, but then it doesn't do well, right? And that could be so
Yeah.
demotivating, especially for me. I don't have a team at the moment to support me, to brainstorm with or anything. I'm just a solo in this, so this could be also a bit demotivating, like when you try to do something content wise and it doesn't do well.
Yeah.
Same with TikTok, I was obsessed with TikTok. I would post like 3 clips per day. It was great back in the day. Now it's the TikToks I take the most time to do. I feel like they always flop and they don't get views, and I'm like, the algorithm, like, it's so bad. But um, now I'm trying to learn that consistency is key. So I should
Hmm.
go through all of these, I don't know, 3 YouTube videos do bad. I should just keep going. Like, there's no way I stop just because they didn't do well, because algorithms are all about consistency. So I feel
Yeah.
like now I cannot say, oh, I'm demotivated by this, because if I notice I'm demotivated by something, I try to change it and change my perspective on it. So mm, yeah, I don't really know. I'm normally a very positive person, so I don't let much affect me, and I
Well,
keep
no, I
going.
feel
But
like what you said is really good. Like that's really helpful because I'm very similar. Like it would be a you spend 8 hours on some sort of video, 12 hours, 24, we'll get into the numbers. You spend like a good chunk of your night, sleep, all these things, and you post it, and then it's like, and I was like, wow. But I think what's interesting is like that attitude after it flops, right? Like that's
yeah.
the crucial thing to hold on to is like, if you are a learner and you are willing to grow every time something doesn't go well, doesn't like work the way you want, you can continue in this and still find joy in it.
Yeah.
I try my best to find things that I love to do in my content so that I enjoy the editing process. I enjoy like the fun in it because
You
if I
edit
didn't,
everything?
I edit everything. Yeah, I don't have a team. I do
Ah,
everything from the app, everything. And so the idea of hand tailoring a work of art and then giving it to people is scary. It's like an
man.
intense thing. It's like I think I'm funny, and then everyone's like that was stupid, and you're like I'm not funny. Like if you take on that, like I think you're gonna get destroyed in this. But if you're able to go, how do I learn how to be funny? Like
Yeah.
then you can like continue to move forward, right? And I think that is
Yeah.
what separates a lot of content creators from kind of freezing over is like the learning aspect and willing to kind of like adapt to what's happening in the space, which
And
is the
same,
space is always changing.
same with the toxicity. Like, some people
Yeah,
can be affected if they post something and they get 20 comments, or even 2 comments that are bad. Some
yeah,
people could let that affect them and be like, this person said my accent is weird, and why would I keep doing this, right?
right.
So it's important to not listen to them.
Yeah. Or just like so my big thing is like you give the people power. You give the voices in your life power, right? I might give my mom a lot of power because she knows me, right? So if she says, "Hey, you smell, put on deodorant." That hits a little truer than somebody that like, is just on the streets that whatever. Like, "You
Yeah,
stink." It's like that like I give the power to who has value in my
yeah,
life. And so if you're giving too much or power to just a random viewer that's like more like a troll and going from Twitch chat to Twitch chat just to like try to rile up streamers, like if you give that person power, you're gonna be dealing with the inner demons. Like you have to
yeah,
really choose like, okay, my moderator who knows me for a few years, like I'm gonna give them more power. Reddish, one of my friends in the space whom I respect, I'm going to give you more power. I'm not going to give, haters that power. And so
mhm,
one thing that I love doing is I just love having fun with my haters. Like I know Nick A30s just kind of more of like, don't even give them attention, but I like having comedy using it as material. And that comment is still an addition to the algorithm. So like if I
yeah,
spice it up, then great, like, but I do think like our voice, who we give power is really
Yeah.
crucial in this as well, for
Yep.
sure.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now we've got a word from our sponsor. Do you have a friend with really bad hot takes? Me too. Hi, I'm Squatting Dog. I run a podcast with a friend that constantly brings up irrelevant hot takes and things that that are so far in the past that could be described as ancient. Lucky for me, I have the energy to get me through it each and every day because of G Fuel. Thanks, G Fuel.
That was perfect.
Thanks.
That was
PM,
great.
are you still there?
Yes. I'm not commenting on anything that you just said.
Speaking of hot takes, do you happen to have one, PM, for us?
Yeah, for reference, Reddish, there was
Yeah.
a Twitter comment that Squatty tagged me in from someone that said, "Why does PM have the worst takes? And, like, this show would be great if PM wasn't on here with his worst takes." And all I did was say, "I love the tack shotgun, and I want the tack shotgun back."
No. These haters, man.
Oh my gosh. And he's still waiting for the chapter 1 map. There's some good ones. Man, sorry, PM. I just had to do it.
To be fair, did they not just bring back Lazy Lagoon?
They did. They brought it back. The whole map's back. Oh my
I was
gosh.
surprised. I don't think there were any leaks on that, right? On the Lazy Lagoon.
No, yeah, Lazy Lagoon.
Nobody saw
was
that
great.
coming.
Yeah,
Shocked.
no, it was awesome.
Imagine if we had updates like that every Tuesday.
Yeah, I know.
That was great
We'll
for
get there.
content.
I think we'll get there, but we'll get there. Well, let's transition to Fortnite, Red.
Yeah.
It's your baby. You've been playing it for a long time, so you've got some good opinions, hopefully. But I do want to hear Chapter 3, Season 3 as a whole. We're getting close to Season 4 now, so some stuff to come. We'll talk about it, but Chapter 3, Season 3. Like, give me a good, give me a bad, and give me an ugly.
Okay.
So take your time if you need to think about it.
Man, first 3 things that came to my mind were related to weapons because I feel
Okay.
like that's a big part of her night. So for me, a good would be the AUG because I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. I feel like it's helping so much. That red dot,
Mm-hmm.
chef's kiss, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
A bad would be the fact that we have guns like the Charge SMG in the game, who like it freaks you out, right? You land on one of those and you're contested. You're like, what do I do now? Like, I have no chance. You already know you have no chance, and it's a bit scary. But I guess it's part of the game. Like, bad guns come and they go. And then ugly would be the fishing rods, man.
Oh my gosh! Don't even start with me, Red.
I just had a TikTok blow up. It has like 500,000 users or something because there was a fishing rod on top of the cinema. And I thought that was a person because it looked like a skin from the Battle Pass. And I sniped it. And then, I used my Nimbus to go and push that guy. And then I saw it was a fishing rod. And then I remembered how much you hate the fishing rods as well.
Oh
So I was
my
like,
gosh!
why are they there? Why would the fishing rod spawn on the cinema?
Red,
There's no water.
I could dedicate a 3-part series to why fishing rod should not be floor loot. Genuinely,
it's been like that for a few seasons,
ugly.
Right? For how long?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like like when your kid. I don't have kids, but I'm imagining a kid coming home and being like, "Dad, I got a C in math," and you're like, "Wow, good job! It's not an F," and then. It's like that kid's like, "Can I put it on the refrigerator?" And you're like, "Sure, son." Like, "Can I put it up in like your mirror instead of what you see in your face? You could just see my no, sure, I guess. Can I put it like on your face when you're sleeping? Like, please stop smothering me with it." We get it. You like fishing. Great, Fortnite. It's cool. Yeah, it's a great thing. But it's not something that we need when we are playing primarily a battle royale. You know what I'm saying?
It should be next to water. Like, we need it, but next to water, right? If you want to fish.
In the barrels. Just put the barrels around. We know what we're going to get out of that because we're looking for fishing. Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy, Red. But those are good takes. All gun related. I appreciate that. I would agree with ugly on the fishing rod. I would also say the Charge SMG could be ugly. for me as well. If I were to do a bad, I think it would be, geez. Yeah, I thought your layout was great. I feel like that's probably similar to me. Good, I would say, is the Dragon Ball Z collaboration that we just got. Like, I feel
Oh,
like
that's
that
crazy.
collaboration, what they did with it, like where you got like your own little mini battle pass, you got like the ability to get free stuff, and
Yeah.
then you got like iconic characters. I feel like that probably is what the future will look like,
And the
in the next few
mythics, they're so
collaborations.
fun. I like the mythics
Yeah.
so
Oh
talks.
man. Yeah. How do you say the mythic?
Kamehameha!
You have to say it in the full like energy form as you're going Super Saiyan.
I'm not Bonsai Bros, I'm sorry. But like the first day, I love the update so much. So the first day of the
Mhm.
update, I was live. I did a solos game. The first game I landed Lagoon, I died after getting 3 kills. Second game, I won with 17 kills.
Wow.
Like 80% of those were just with a Kamehameha. But every time I would get a kill with that, I called it Kame Kame. Or like
Ah.
Kame Kame, let me Kame Kame. And like
Mhm.
my community roasted me so much that day. Now I have to say it the right way because I have some hardcore fans of
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, so
I
I
just
gotta do the
posted
right thing.
something on YouTube, and I'm getting ripped apart on how I articulated the energy source, which is like ki, and I
Mhm.
said kai, and
Oh,
just getting absolutely roasted for that right now. So thank you. If you guys are one of those people, if you're a listener and you just like making people feel worse by you knowing something that we don't, I appreciate you commenting because it really does
yeah.
help the algorithm.
Same with the other guys. Like you've seen the other guys on TikTok, right? Who say it in the
Yeah.
worst way.
Uh-huh.
They're so smart. I respect
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah.
it's very
Also,
nice.
do you know Snail on TikTok? She
Yes.
posts stuff. Yeah, she does the same thing where she like
Yeah.
intentionally says everything wrong, and it like riles the community up. I love it. Such a great idea.
I also said I'm happy the Lazy Lake is back instead of Lazy
Hmm.
Lagoon. So that
Hmm.
also got some
That's my favorite
interaction.
POI of all time. I think
I
was
love
Lagoon.
it. I was
Yeah,
upset. I loved it more back then for
yeah,
some
me too.
reason. There was the vibe of the jungle
The
and everything.
waterfall, like there's, yeah, it was
Yeah.
really cool. I
It
think
still
like
is. It still
it
is.
is, yeah. It's just like different, and I think different is good. Different should
Yeah.
be the case, because if they just do the same thing over and over again, we'll have PM get all on his high horse, and that's not good for the game.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just like in this podcast, just trying to see how many times I can get
Well,
PM to talk. So
I would like to point out that there was a rumor that they are going to be changing the chest mechanic in the future.
yes, yes.
And yeah, let's
Mhm.
let's not act like I brought that up 2 or 3 months ago. It's like, hey, maybe Epic should work on this because it's been a while.
Yeah, they do listen to the podcast, so that's probably directly from you, 100%.
How is
Yeah,
that?
they're
How did they
making like
change
a
it?
health chest. So I don't know if you are like me, but I am dropping and looking for shield for the first like 10 minutes of my game, unless you drop somewhere in where those ice coolers are. So it'll be like an ice
Yeah.
cooler, except it'll be an actual chest that will have heals. So my guess is it'll be like white heals and blue heals in every chest, so that you
Mm,
know what you're in for rather than it being a gamble every time, because like chest currently can fluctuate between med mist, bandages,
yeah.
med kits, minis, and big pots. And
Yeah.
so they're like 3 out of 5 of those are not going to be shield. So I don't know what the percentages is on what you can get, but like they are
Yeah.
making a chest that is going to hand tailor to healing, so that you kind of know what you're in for if you're looking for that, which I think is a good call.
What do you think about Chug Jugs?
Chug jugs, like the big one that takes like
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Think that should be in the game?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's so
I'm fine with
slow.
it.
I don't feel like it's so peak because it takes
Yeah.
forever.
I
But
think
it's
what's
nice to have.
difficult for me is when Fortnite introduces a new mechanic, like let's take Pizza Party as an example, and then they take it away from you the next season, and then they re-bring it back as like, it's back again. and that's content. Like I feel like that's hard. That gets hard for me a little bit. Like I think that's where I
Yeah.
start to experience a little bit more burnout on the content creation side of things, is
Yeah.
when they recycle content. Not that that's like a horrible thing, but when
Yeah.
they rely on recycled content as a main source. So we saw this a lot in the recent summer event where they brought back crash pads and boogie bombs and
The
like
ice cream.
UFOs and stuff. And you're like, these are all things that we had experience in the game before being brought back, which is great from maybe like an LTM. And it's also great that they mix it up in the game. But it's like, that's the content. It makes it feel, I think, less exciting to content creators. It's fun, obviously, for the game. But I think from a content creation standpoint, it feels a little cheap than like implementing something new, which I'm sure is very difficult, but also like balancing what's going on in the game.
But then they came up with the Dragon Ball, and now we forgave them.
Yeah, exactly. They came back so strong. They were like, "Oh, you miss us? Here's Dragon Ball Z." We're like, "What?"
I was surprised they gave us everything, like repaired Tilted and Lazy Lagoon, everything in just one update. That felt crazy because they could have split that over certain weeks, but they were like, "Nope, take everything." That was
totally.
That's cool.
So, Red, a lot of collaborations have hit Fortnite, right? What is your favorite collaboration that Fortnite has ever done?
I think everybody loved the Marvel season. I loved it so much with the mythics and the Stark. It was good. I also like collaborations where they add redhead skins. I mean outfits, redhead outfits,
I was
as
waiting
part
for
of the collaboration.
In the podcast this was going to happen.
like MJ, I was super excited when they had it. MJ, that was one of the best collabs of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides your own icon skin, what would be a redhead you would want to bring into the game?
Wow.
Is there like one that comes to mind? Like you're like, ooh, this is a redhead that should be in the game.
No, but something came in mind. I was thinking of Ginny from Harry Potter. She was not like my favorite character, but I really like. I would love a Harry Potter collab.
That would be
With a
awesome.
kind of collab where you could choose the house, you can customize a bit like the hair and make it look like you. Because I feel like that's something I'm missing. I know some skins are a bit customizable, right? Like you can change. You can choose out of 5 options, right, for how the outfit looks.
Yeah.
But imagine if we could fully customize like red long hair, brown eyes. I want to be this house in Harry Potter, and then boom, that would be the best thing ever. I think.
In like the world, do you know this? How many people are redheaded? Do you know like the percentage?
I don't know.
I don't either. I was just curious if you might have like
Never.
known that for being a redhead, because I'm sure it's not. It's rare, right? It would be considered more rare, redhead.
Yeah. Do you see redheads around over there?
Not very often. That's I don't think so. I mean, I know of one that's kind of close to us. Like she works at the coffee shop, but like in general, when I'm walking around, at least like where I live, like there aren't very many red. And I'm like, I'm in Orange County, so there's a lot of blondes, so it's a little saturated. But I was thinking
2% worldwide. By the way,
what is it?
2%.
2%. 2%. Okay, so I'm sure like Epic Games is just like 2% of our audience. Like we don't need to do too many of these. Like
we have quite a few.
There is a lot of redheads.
I think we have more redhead skins than blondes. I think.
There's definitely more redheads than balded characters. So all I'm saying.
What's the percentage of bald people in the world?
Well, it just depends on how old you get and when you die. Everybody goes bald, Red. Eventually, you will. When you die, you lose your hair.
That will be the only moment I'll change my name from Reddish to Baldish. So don't steal it from me.
Your ghost Twitter space is gonna be Baldish. Yeah. So I feel like so if anybody knows this, okay, Red, I know what it's like to not have to Brutus, although is bald. I am nowhere near as buff as Brutus. So. I don't have a skin yet either, but we'll get there. Speaking
of your locker bundle, stop complaining.
Okay, sorry. Whoa, jeez, my goodness. But that was a good segue. Nice job, Red. If Epic Games came knocking and they were like, "Hey, Red, we know you want a locker bundle. We're going to give you a locker bundle. Just kidding. We're giving you an Icon Series outfit. What would you do for it if that happened?
Something really cool. You're asking like design wise?
I'm legitimately like, we did this with Ali A. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ali A was on this podcast. I asked him the question. We summoned that into existence. So we're doing that right now. What does your outfit look like? Let's get people excited about it. So every time an Icon Series comes out, they're like, "Oh, Red! Oh, it's not as cool as your idea." Like, we need those comments. We need that energy. What does your skin look like?
I will need people in the comment section to tell me if I should go for a red outfit or no. Because like, is the red hair enough, or would I go for a red outfit, like a red dress?
Right. Why not both? You can do edit styles.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself
No,
short.
I don't
Do
wanna
everything
think
you
of
want.
it.
This is a dream right now, Red. Okay, so tell me what happens. What is your outfit?
I have a few really cool outfits. Like every time I take a picture of like an outfit I like, there's always someone being like, "Oh, that could be the Icon skin," right? Like all sorts of sets with skirts and blouses, or I don't know. I would go for something cool. I don't want to spoil it, but it will amaze you.
It will amaze me. Will your pickaxe be warm milk?
No.
Or are you still just using the Star Wand religiously? Sorry.
No. I use the driver, but not the blue one, the black and red one. I love it. Like the golf club.
Nice.
It's black and red.
You could do, Red?
Really,
just brainstorming.
Yeah, you're the creative brain.
Your skin could start off bald like me. Then after every elimination, your hair grows more and more red and gets longer and longer until it's like one of those like tangled situations.
I like the idea, but it should start like here. Because also in my streaming career, like I've had my hair short like this, and I've had it super long, so it would make sense. Yeah.
But you've never been bald, huh?
No, I would never. No.
Give it a go. See what happens. Just kidding. Okay, so
there's so many apps. Like right now, we could go on an app and see. I don't think you want to see that. No.
Mild Photoshop will take care of you too. Okay, so there's a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon of Fortnite, Red, and I want to talk about a few of those things. We mentioned a few before, but there's a few others that I think are really exciting to talk about, and I'm curious of your thoughts. Okay,
are we allowed to speak about this? Are we allowed?
Yeah, we're not allowed. We have to talk in code. It's all based off of random leaks. So maybe they're coming, maybe they're not, but there's some coding in there. So
okay, let's hear it.
You will get Epic will knock on your door, take your supporter creator code, and kick you out of Fortnite. So
I'm scared. Okay.
So, yeah.
You did say you want to cancel me when he invited me. He was like, I'm trying to cancel you.
Did we record that? I don't think we did. So. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so things on the horizon. Red, you know about the Rock family, right?
The Rock? Yeah.
Rock family. I think they're on the Never Eat south side of the map.
Yeah, next to Kondo, on the right side of Kondo.
Yeah, they're kind of like walking around. They're on the beach right now. Yeah. Do you know what the kid is making right now for his sandcastle?
No.
Helm's freaking Deep. Do you know what Helm's Deep is?
I have no idea.
Lord of the Rings. Essentially, what he is doing is he's creating a classic scene in Lord of the Rings where there's a siege that takes place in the movies on a really important POI. He's creating it to a T where there's a wall, there's a castle, and an explosion over the wall, and how they essentially got into Helm's Deep. So this could be a teaser for, much like the Kame House was, this could be a teaser for Lord of the Rings collaboration coming, which on Prime is coming really soon. So we could be seeing a Lord of the Rings collaboration very soon, which is very exciting.
It is, but I don't know how I never noticed that. Well, I feel like I don't notice these things.
It's a weird small detail, but it's in the game right now. You can go check it out. Like I said, south side of the map, underneath Kondo, you can see him building Helm's Deep right now, which is wild.
That, or maybe the developer who made it was just a
True. We could go a lot of ways. Sometimes they make references and it never comes. Like there's an Alice in Wonderland reference right now on the map. There's a Breaking Bad reference right now on the map. There's an Indiana Jones reference in the map. There's a bunch of references, but some of those become things. Like Indiana Jones had that reference, and now we have him in the game. So it might be a matter of time. It might be like how long it takes to get all the legal stuff figured out, but I hope that we get Lord of the Rings. That'd be pretty cool. And then hopefully Harry Potter shortly after, which would be really rad as well. The second thing I have is, Red, how would you feel about skating in the game and motorcycles in the game?
I saw that too. I would like it. I love having movement on the map, especially when playing pubs and you want to move to another POI. Sometimes you're like, okay, how do I move now? So any sort of movement, I think, is a great addition to the game.
I wonder how you would do skating. Like, can you just skate on grass or like skate? Like, I can imagine that being. I don't know if they're going to be real with it. Let's be honest. Like we have the shopping cart, which went on everything.
Yeah.
Like, is it like? I'm like trying to imagine how. Like, are we talking Tony Hawk? You know, like pro skater, where you're like going down half pipes and getting energy and like flying across the map. Like, I really hope that they do something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, how cool would that be?
They're gonna have to get rid of the gloves, right? We're not gonna have gloves anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure the gloves will take like a "it's gone now" and then comes back again content moment. But yeah, I think like it would be really rad if we got motorcycles and skating. I just wonder, like, skating just feels so weird, I guess. Doesn't it kind of feel kind of random? Like, of everything.
Cars feel weird. I feel like cars feel weird as well.
That's true.
When they came out, I was like, cars, what? But now they're a big part. I don't know.
Yeah, it just feels like it's got to be for something. Like maybe Tony Hawk, you know, somebody is like trying to work with Fortnite and it's like becoming a bigger thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt like and I know Fortnite's working on the metaverse, you know, making like including everything and everyone into it. And so they're like taking small fragments like vehicles, and now they can make like Porsches, you know, and do those collaborations. So it's almost like they're creating the opportunity for somebody like Tony to be like, oh, I want to be a part of Fortnite. It's like, great, we already have skateboards in the game. Come on in. You know what I mean?
I have a question before you move to the third one.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about movement. How do you feel about cars in zero build comp? Because they keep adding them and removing them and adding them. Now they're gone. Like, we don't have them in comp now.
I know. I like, it was really frustrating because that transition happened during a tournament for me, and it was like, wait, we don't have cars, and it was like,
it happened for me at DreamHack. So first day at DreamHack, I had cars, so my entire rotation was about the car, and then second day of DreamHack, it was gone.
Especially because for me, I think the zones aren't right. Like it feels like zones are pulling towards Bugle way more than they're pulling down to the desert. And so I feel like that's the hardest part for me. Is like, I don't trust the storm, and I don't trust whoever's in control of where the storm goes, because it really doesn't feel like 100% could be literally random. It feels like it's pulling towards something for some reason, and I don't know why. But I think it's the combo of that, right? No vehicles, which is a major source of mobility. You can use hands, but you only have 10. And then the Kame, which I don't think it will be in comp, but the Kame is perfect. It's literally the best mobility device ever designed. But, you know, like vehicles were the most easiest and accessible, and I feel like would blow up and cause chaos. But I think that that's a helpful part of the game for rotation. Yeah. So that's my thought. What are you thinking?
Same. My only problem with the cars was I found them very OP towards endgame. Like you'd be hiding in a bush and then a car would run you over and I don't have my bush anymore because they break the bushes. Yeah. But other than that, I feel like it's nice to rotate with cars. It's easier. Yeah. But it's easier for everyone. So removing cars.
Right. True.
Gives a bit of an advantage to people who know how to rotate in competitive.
Yeah, and there's traffic issues too, so we got to think about that as well. Okay, so the next thing that is being worked on, that we know is being worked on, is we had the zero builds situation happen, which has been a huge success for Fortnite, which is funny. Yep. They're just like, hey, we're a game about building. Hey, we're no longer a game about building, but people still love it. So they're now working on a first-person mode. What are your thoughts on playing Fortnite in a first person mode, Red?
I grew up playing Counter-Strike. That's all I'm gonna say.
Uh-huh.
I think it would be cool. So it would be a completely different mode, right?
We don't know. They're just working on it. And so in some ways, like it could be worked on just to maybe for a cinematic experience, right? Like an event happens and you're in a first person mode instead of a third person.
Have we never
Um,
had that? I don't remember.
we've had moments where you kind of like can look around and you're in your character's body, but like we haven't had like where you're fighting or anything or shooting or anything. So
It would probably be a zero build mode, right? I don't see how you
I
can
don't know.
build with first
Yeah, it
person.
would be really weird to build with it, but
Yeah,
it's fascinating to think at the evolution of Fortnite where they're just literally doing
yeah,
and trying absolutely everything. And maybe it's a first person mode for like creative maps, you know, where you can have more immersion.
yeah.
But it seems foreign right now. But I'm really excited for when it releases to look back on our thoughts on it, because I'm sure we'll be like more players will come to the game, something crazy, like it'll probably be
Yeah.
amazing. But it's fascinating that they're doing that, especially with their success with outfits and the finances that brings with like putting an outfit on and actually being able to see your outfit rather
Yeah.
than like other games
Yeah.
where you have an outfit on but you can never see yourself, so it doesn't really have that much value.
I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people outside of Fortnite who have never played Fortnite or only tried it once, they still kind of see it as a kid's game because of this aspect. Like, okay, it's not a first person shooter. Like,
Right.
I feel like you're right. I think it will bring in a few people. If it's a zero build mode, if it's built, I don't think.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Both are going to be interesting, but I yeah, it's kind of like a cool thing to keep if you're listening to this, like to think through, like how would you play Fortnite first person mode? Like what would that look like? Would that be fun? Would that be weird? And how could
Everyone
they?
thought zero build would be weird.
Yeah,
Like everyone was freaking out. Like, how can you play Fortnite without building? But it's so fun
it's so
and
fun.
it's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. The next thing I have is a new mech coming to the game. Red, could you tell me a little bit of what your mech experience was like back in Chapter 2?
I
Or
mean, the new
Chapter
mech
1?
is coming. The one where
Yeah.
you can go inside of it and destroy everyone.
Yep.
I did not like them at all. But I was also the kind of person who didn't use it. I know I'm a content creator,
Oh,
but I
weird.
was like, I don't want to use this thing.
Did you feel bad or what? Like, what was
Yeah, it felt way too OP. And I just want to play the game normally. It was OP. It was frustrating, but we also found it funny, kind of, because I was not playing any competitive Fortnite back in the day. So it would be just me and my community playing squads, and oh, someone's in a mech, and then we would try to run away, and felt like we still had fun in that
Yeah.
season, but it's obviously one of the most like that thing didn't make sense in the game, but it
My favorite
happens.
was
Sometimes
like
they add that, and we gotta adapt.
my favorite was like these like cat and mouse moments that you would have that we didn't have prior, where it's like you would like hide and it was like I will die if it sees me. Like you have like I don't know, like 50 health left and it's already stomped you a few times, shot a bunch of missiles at you, and you're like, if it finds me, I'm dead. Like it created those moments that made it kind of special, where it was like there is this overpowered thing in the game that like if we don't collectively as whoever's in the game shoot at it, it will win type of thing. And that was kind of fun. I mean, like there's that, what's that horror game where there's like one character that's like the villain and there's 4 that are running away from the villain. It's a Dying Light or something like that.
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. It's kind of has that vibe a little bit where it's like one person's overpowered, the rest of us are like, but we're also not on each other's team, you know? So I like that idea. I really do. I like that idea. I just think was so overpowered. And I think we're kind of like in an interesting stage with Fortnite where like when people complain about something, Epic makes a quick reaction. You know, like if it's really bad, they'll make a quick reaction and change something. but if we don't, then it stays and it's like sticks around. And so I'm curious of like, and maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's just them genuinely like doing a good job of figuring it out. But the mech, when it released, it was overpowered, and then like I think like 2 weeks went by, and then they did something about it, or like 3 weeks or something, and it was like very late, and we're all like, "What's going on?" But apparently they are working on a new mech, and my hunch is maybe like a Transformers collaboration. How cool would that be if you're like in a truck, you're driving like a truck, and then you press a button and it turns into like, how freaking cool would that be? Right?
It'd be crazy. But how many would we have on the map? Like in a
Probably
game
like
of
2 or 3, kind of like a
yeah.
battle bus situation, probably.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's not as powerful. Maybe it's just kind of fun. I don't know. I think it would be rad to have a mech.
I think you're the only one who says that. But hey, it's content. It's content.
Literally though. That's how I think. It's like, okay, this is broken, but it's content. So
I remember when we played some duos together with the Venom Mythic.
Oh yeah,
you said it. You were like, people hate it, but for me as a content creator, this is the best thing ever because I can.
It's gold. Yeah, we got a clip where like I grabbed somebody with the Venom, and then I think Liz grabbed with the Carnage. And we literally moved someone from like being safe on ground to up on height. And then we chopped it all down and that person died. And it was like, this is where the game's at. You know, the Kamehameha is a good example too. Like it just destroys. But you're out there in the open flashing. If someone just snipes you, you're done. So they're getting better, I think, at something that's overpowered also has like a really significant weakness where I think the mech never had that. And I feel like hopefully the new mech does in some capacity.
I remember they re-added mechs at some point, like recently. We did have mechs back.
Was it for the event? I think it was. I think there was an event.
But I remember it was not that OP.
Yeah, it was.
Like in the Colosseum season, we had it. We had the Colosseum.
Yeah. It wasn't. It was like pretty chill. Yeah. That's true.
Because like people would destroy it, they would get inside of it and destroy it or something like that. I don't remember. Yeah.
2 last things.
Yeah.
Fortnitemares is coming. Do you like Fortnitemares? Do you like Halloween?
Yeah. My first ever viral TikTok was from Fortnitemares because
really?
I was in Sunny Steps. It got like millions of views. I was in Sunny Steps. I was pickaxing a fridge in a kitchen, and a zombie got out of that.
Oh my gosh.
It scared the heck out of me because no one told me that was what the update was about. I had no idea stuff like that happened. So I yelled as loud as I could. Fortnite is cool. I enjoy, again, everything. I don't have a season that I hated in Fortnite. Yeah. Like I love everything that's fresh and new. Yeah. I love all the updates. So that's exciting.
Fresh and new is great. So
and good. The brooms are a part of Fortnite, right? I love the brooms so much.
They're just like the Nimbus clouds. They're rad.
Yeah.
There's two creators that got their drawings made into skins. Kitsune and I think it's Dreo Wings. They both created the Fortnitemares contest and won, and their outfits look amazing. So that's really exciting to get more like content creators or people that draw like into the game. I think that's like a huge win for those that do that.
You like to do that as well, right?
I do. Yeah, I do like to do that. One of these days it'll happen, and I will probably...
Fortnite, come on.
Come on, Fortnite. Yeah, so that's great. And then the second one I have is Destiny 2. We got a leaked thing for Destiny 2 coming, and that's really exciting if that is true, because Destiny was one of the games that I started playing like on console, or I guess like my PS4. I played that, and I played Overwatch. And so having a Destiny collaboration would be absolutely like a dream come true, because it's weird, I think, when 2 gaming companies come together and do crossovers. It's one thing for like, you know, some brand, but like for 2 to work together like that, like that would be so rad. So here's
do you think it's just gonna be outfits in the game or more?
Oh, I don't know. I hope more. And I feel like that's like a lot of these collaborations. I think a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, Dragon Ball Z's in the game. That was fun. It's like, no. That's like part 1 of like, we saw that with Naruto, and then we got a second set. Like, these are all conversations that are happening, building the foundation for future content, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to look at what Epic's trying to accomplish. They're trying to create the metaverse. They're trying to make an all-inclusive environment for people to game and have fun and have all their characters together. And for that to exist, you have to work on building relationships with everyone. And so
Imagine if they add weapons from Destiny.
oh my gosh, the Galahorn.
Like, that would be the best thing for a collaboration, to actually add
Yeah.
a weapon that everyone loves in that game added in
Oh my
Fortnite.
gosh.
That would be crazy.
Have you ever played Destiny 2?
Tiny bit.
Okay. Do you know the Galahorn?
No.
It's like one of the most recognizable rocket launchers of all time, and it's just was like a massive W for the gaming community, and to have that weapon inside of Fortnite would be so cool. So cool. And maybe in the future, maybe, I don't know, but typically speaking, I feel like most collaborations have been outfits, which is like great, but with the DBZ thing, like, we're seeing what it could be, right? Like maybe a map that's created for it, maybe, like, especially with like creative 2.0, whatever the future of that is. Like, imagine that type of freedom to be able to create Destiny 2 in Fortnite. That would be wild, but yeah, so that's a very exciting thing that hopefully comes down the pipe really soon. Anything else? I can't think of any. Is there anything else that's coming that we have heard whispers about? Do you know of anything else?
Not really. You should know.
It's just
You
a
are
good
the
time
one who
to be a
spends
gamer.
his whole day on Reddit. Not me.
Well, it's a good time to be a gamer, I would say.
Yeah.
Reddish, as we wrap up, are there any final words that you have for our listeners? And then also, what are some ways that people that are listening can support you?
It's already over.
I know. Is that crazy? It goes by fast.
I love hanging out with you. You're amazing. Final words. Oh my God, you made it this far. That's crazy.
You did great.
Thank you for supporting these amazing human beings, podcasts and streams and videos. He deserves all the love. And that's it. You can just find me playing with Squatingdog every now and then on his stream. And that's it. That's it.
No, it's not it. What's your supporter creator code?
What? Nah.
What's your supporter creator code?
My supporter creator code is Reddish. REDDYSH.
It's a great way to support her. Also, if you happen to have a Prime, Twitch Prime has a really cool way that you can use your Prime on streamers. Reddish is a good candidate for that if you have one.
So is this man. Yes. Yep.
But honestly, thank you so much, Red, for being on the podcast. You're
Thank
amazing.
you.
I love
You
your
are
content.
too.
You're a great friend, and I'm so excited to continue to grow alongside you.
We're just getting started. Like,
We're just getting
It
started.
feels great.
Just getting started. Yeah. So thank you for being on this episode of Unvaulted Podcast.
Thank you for having
And of
me.
course, oh, good. Sorry.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. And of course, a huge and special thank you to all of our listeners. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Feel free to connect with us on Twitter at UnvaultedPod or the Squatting Dog or it's PM. And of course, Reddish. If you want to be able to communicate with us there, tell us if you like warm milk. Also, consider using Reddish's code in the item shop to support her. Until next time, I'm Squatting Dog. We'll see you later.